Hello everyone. I just got back from dinner and drinks and drag race with my friends, and I just kind of wanted to get this thought out because I've been having some discussion over this past week on TikTok, of course. The routes of discussion that I kind of started had to do with like young people, right? And I think one of like a big problem is younger people around my age, way younger as well, not knowing, even older people, not knowing that it's all right if you don't have the answer. It's okay if you gotta just say, that's some good insight, right? It's okay if you say, I don't know, right? It's okay if you sit back in silence and just listen. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like, I feel like a lot of people go on the internet and they don't go on the internet to listen, obviously. A lot of people do, I think. I think a lot of people, you know, they're consumers and they're not commenting, they're not posting, right? So those people are willing to listen, but other people are more so going onto the internet like, I want to be heard, and you know, I'm not going on the internet to listen. I'm going on the internet to argue. I'm going on the internet to, you know, in essence, stress themselves out, because if you're going on the internet to argue, you're going to find that, right? You're projecting, and you're going to attract somebody that's going to project right back onto you. And I think a lot of the times it's not good for any well-being. Like, I myself am sitting here like, oh, I need to not comment on anything, right? And it's hard for me because I'm posting and people are commenting on my shit. So it's a little bit difficult to not reply, especially when somebody's like purposefully misunderstanding you. It's hard for me to not reply. It's easy for me to reply right now because my account is very small on TikTok. Do you get what I mean? So it's easy for me to just like monitor the comment sections, delete what I really don't like. It's like, I go about it in a way where if some people are purposefully like just out of left field doing I don't know what in my comment section, yeah, I gotta delete it, because it's like, you're not going to distract my audience when they get into the comment section. Do you know what I mean? But other people, it's like, you're kind of there, but no. So yeah, it's just, you know, I pick and choose, but also I think it's gonna come to a point where it's like, I can't see all the comments. Like, we're there now. Some posts that I put out, the comment sections get so big, I can't see everything. But yeah, like that's why I like my smaller posts, because it's like I get to talk to everybody, right? I get to talk to the people that I usually see. I get to speak to newer people who, you know, are maybe looking at my account or coming to that one video on the For You page or whatever the case. It's just like, it's a little bit easier for me to connect on smaller posts. But it is getting to a point where it's like, yeah, I can't see everything. But when I do, how am I going to go about it? And a lot of the times I do, of course, love to see comments that come in and try to see the insight that hopefully they're trying to provide, right? I feel like a lot of the times with my posts, people aren't trying to provide insight. They're not trying to intelligently, you know, move the conversation forward. A lot of the times it is like, oh, well, here's my opinion. Okay, that's interesting. But your opinion is exactly what I'm touching on. I think you're wrong. Do you know what I mean? And obviously you didn't listen to my video, right? And, you know, I'm taking, as you guys might know, I don't know if I've mentioned it in other videos, but I'm taking Intro to Communication right now. It's a freshman level college class. And I'm taking it just because I wanted to. But I think, you know, I'm just learning so much by simply doing the readings and, you know, reading the book. I think it's like Human Communication in Society or something. It talks about high quality listening skills and how if you're not sitting there listening, there are going to be a lot more cracks for the conversation to slip through into you having a bad interaction. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of these people who go onto the internet and conduct themselves in a certain way because they think that they need to have all the answers, you know, they attract a certain sort of energy, and then that energy doesn't like leave once you turn off your phone. That's what you're feeding your mind, right? So now you're going to conduct your life like that. And I see it all the time because I work with college students, right? Because I'm around college age students every single day. It's my job. And I see how a lot of them, some of them are normal. Some of these students are very much, you know, they are grounded. But other students, I can see how they're a little bit chronically online because of how they conduct themselves in real life. It's just a little bit confrontational in like the worst way. Some people would argue that I'm confrontational. I'm not confrontational. I'll just address issues up front, right? I'm not passive aggressive. I think we should address issues now so we're just efficient and we can move forward with, you know, nobody having any underlying feelings about anything, or there not being any other underlying issues, right? But other people, it's like they're confrontation in a way where it's like automatic argument is trying to be started, right? It's like, no, well, I don't really see your point because this is my point. You don't have to have all the answers, right? You're not seeing their point because you didn't listen, because you don't have what my book talks about in my class. You don't practice high quality listening skills. You know what I mean? And that's to nobody's detriment other than your own. Even when you go onto the internet, you kind of have to practice those skills when you're reading comments, when you're looking at videos, right? It's like we're in a time where you can curate your For You pages to be very funny things, but every now and again, you're just going to be fed a think piece, right? You can either skip it, or you can either, you know, if you're going to listen to it, you have to really see what's being fed to you. What is this person saying? Do I need to argue? Do I need to go into the comment section? Let's see what everybody's saying. Are they getting it? Or is everybody, you know, did this video just hit a certain group of people where the point flew over their head? Do you know what I mean? It's like being able to do that, I think, will make a lot of people's lives easier, right? Because then you're not automatically getting mad and then going to the comment section and doing something. You can just block somebody, right? That's kind of how I conduct myself on my For You page, right? Whenever I get off my own profile and I go to my For You page to just scroll and relax, I still have to look at what my For You page is telling me and think, that's really stupid. Or, you know, I see the point they're trying to make. Sometimes I see a point that somebody's trying to make, but everybody in the comment section is telling them that they're being harmful and, you know, they're being canceled. Do you know what I mean? And then I'm like, damn, well, you know, maybe I like this person. My cognitive dissonance is like going haywire because it's like, I want to like this person. I'm hearing what they're saying and I'm getting it, but I'm also listening to the other people who are like, you're being harmful and this is how. What are you going to do? Now some people have choices, and a lot of the times people will ignore, you know, whoever's calling their favorites out, and they'll defend. You don't get paid to defend people on the internet. You know what I mean? I think it's just, at the end of the day, you got to worry about yourself first. You can worry about other people, but you got to worry about yourself first. And you can't put your foot in your mouth by defending somebody just because you like them, right? You don't owe anybody any sort of loyalty on the internet, but especially like people who you stan. Do you know what I mean? Have you ever met these people? Have you ever hung out with them? right? It's different. Like maybe you owe somebody something on the internet, like friendship, because y'all are friends, right? They're your mutuals. You guys have hung out. That's different. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people standing, creators, big, small, whatever, and doing anything and everything to defend them, no matter what they say, right? It's just high quality listening skills that can't be reserved for your favorites or your family or your friends. You got to take in everything. You got to take in everything, and you have to sift through it in your brain. That's just the world we live in. We live in a complex world. I know a lot of like lazy people don't like to hear things like this because it's like, oh, I just want to come on the internet and relax, right? I get you. But we don't live in a society where the internet that we all go on is just a relaxing, amazing place. It's kind of a dangerous place. And you have to be able to do yourself the favor of protecting yourself. And if you have kids, you have to teach them these skills too, or else they're going to get lost, right? They're going to get lost in the sauce. They're going to maybe fall down certain pipelines of things and mentalities and ideas and ways of living that's just, it might not be the best for them, right? You got to teach yourself that so that eventually you might have to teach your friends that or your children that. It's just important to, you know, have some high quality listening skills, because also you should be practicing this anyways, especially with your family, because it makes people feel loved as well, right? Some people don't practice this stuff at all ever, right? And they're not afraid of being abandoned or anything, because many people have the mentality of, well, these people are my family, they're my blood, and they're just going to be around me anyways. We're family. But you should want to make your family feel good. You should want to make your friends feel good. Even if you don't agree with what they're saying, high quality listening skills. Listening to what they're saying and coming to a conclusion in your brain. Okay, why are they saying that? Maybe my sibling or maybe my parent, you know, I've listened to them and maybe I can see their point, and, you know, maybe I'm going to tweak some of the ways that I think. Or, you know, sometimes you have to sit there and say, yeah, my family member that I love a lot, falling down some weird pipeline that they're getting from. I don't know what books they're reading. I don't know what shows they're watching. I don't know what they're listening to on the internet, right? It's just kind of like you come to those conclusions, but I think you have to give yourself the right tools to come to conclusions that are just a little more well-rounded, instead of conclusions that just will make you an insufferable person almost, right? It's just like you got to be careful. And, you know, I understand that it's like what some of the things that I talk about, I do sit here and wonder, like, does this kind of need to be talked about? And probably like most people would say, no, it doesn't. You're just yapping. But I think it's just some things that a lot of people just don't talk about because they're so minuscule, right? But at the end of the day, maybe because we don't talk about these things, these small little things, that's kind of a reason why we're at where we're at in this world, right? In this country, people don't listen to each other. We're so divided because people in different areas of different political parties just don't listen to each other. Families don't really listen to each other because of certain ways that they've been raised and, you know, brought up. And it's just like, now there's relationships broken, relationships that maybe could have been mended, but you can't expect to mend things when you don't have high quality listening skills, when you don't have enough consideration to listen to people and to hear their side out and to really come to terms with what they think and why they think. At the end of the day, you don't have to have all the answers. But in knowing that you don't have all the answers, just sitting and listening is kind of like a given, right? You can't fake it till you make it in all things. Do you know what I'm saying? And even people who are older than you, they don't have all the answers either. Nobody has all the answers, right? So it's just important to understand that some people, they're just going to talk. Like some people are going, nobody has all the answers. In you recognizing this and then being able to sit and listen to people, you'll see and hear people telling on themselves a lot more because you're listening to them and you're realizing that it's like they think that they have all the answers and that's their answer. But that's when you're able to just let them have it. Sometimes with some people, you're just going to let them have it, right? And understand that people that live that way, it's like they're not happy. Other people will be able to have a conversation with you and you'll realize that they have a lot more answers than other people. But some people who have way more answers than others, you'll see that they're still trying to search for answers, right? They'll listen to you probably a lot better than people who think they know it all, right? Because they're just, these types of people are always trying to see other people's perspectives. Do you know what I mean? They're trying to search for answers. They're trying to, you know, listen to people who might eventually come up with other answers, right? It's like, that's why I kind of don't understand people talking to children like they don't know anything, because I think children a lot of the times are very smart. They know what they know. They're very cognizant of things, right? They know and they can learn very quickly. And talking to them in certain ways, it's just like, it's interesting because I think at the end of the day, a lot of parents have kids because they do want to seem like they know it all to somebody, and children expect for their parents to know everything, right? That those are the people that are keeping them alive. Children expect for them to, you know, have it together, right? So that's what they think, and I think that's an ego thing that parents, a lot of parents love, and that's why they have children and force children here. But you'll see that some parents, they're able to help their children and guide their children, and even, you know, mentors, professors, right, teachers. A lot of the times some handle their students in certain ways where it's like, you're always going to be wrong and I'm always going to be right because I'm the teacher and I'm the elder and you're the student. But there are some people who will mentor you and they want to know your perspective because, you know, not everybody's going to invent, you know, not one person's going to invent everything. And, you know, it's just like, you never know who knows what. So trying to obtain people's perspectives and being able to listen so that you can sit with their information, I think that's a high sought out skill that not many people have. Not many people have. Less and less people have that skill. So I implore everybody to just sit with things for a little bit. Listen to people. Listen to people lecturing. And be able to sit there and say, yeah, that person, you know, they're a little lost. But hey, I heard them out and I can confidently come to that conclusion. Instead of just listening to a few words, I'm coming to a certain conclusion because I made a surface level judgment. It's like, you can't really be confident in that, but you can be confident in listening to the essence of whatever, you know, everything that that person's telling you, right? You're listening to the entirety of the conversation you're having, the lecture you're watching, the video you're being fed off your For You page, the video you went to look for on YouTube, right? It's just like you're able to sit with it, listen to it, and then come to your own confident conclusion instead of just judging a book by its cover and coming up with whatever conclusion because why? Like, and then people ask you, oh, why'd you think about it like that? Oh, like, I don't know. I just judged it, right? It's like, okay, you didn't have time to listen. It's hard to do what I'm talking about because our world works so fast But if you slow things down a little bit, it might annoy some people sometimes because maybe they don't expect that from you. But at the end of the day, the world does kind of need to slow down. It's like, what are we rushing for? Unless you're in some sort of life-saving job, then it's like, okay, that's a little different. Don't slow things down there. But, you know, even in my job, it's like some things when we're in our staff meetings, yeah, many of us can slow down and think about what somebody's saying and bringing up. But some people, some of us might listen and get automatically defensive. And it's just like, you're not listening, right? So it's just a little bit, it's hard. It's a hard skill to kind of navigate yourself through, but we kind of need to, especially if you're going to be a higher quality worker, a higher quality family member, right? Your family is going to really, probably, hopefully appreciate you more. Some families won't. Some families are just all low quality listeners, and you know, maybe they'll take advantage of you if you have a little more compassion for them. You know, tread lightly in whatever situation you're in, right? Love you. But I think, you know, also this will make you a higher quality partner. So if you ever want to end up in a relationship that's not toxic and not, you know, making you suffer and age quicker because it's just stressing you out all the time, you being a higher quality listener, communicator, that's going to help you a little more, right? Because you're probably going to attract that as well. And if you've attracted something that's not that, which I doubt you'll automatically attract somebody with the same type of qualities as you right away, you're able to sit here and be like, no, this isn't going to work, right? Unless you decide to settle into that type of communication style that person has. It's a little lower of a quality than yours. It's like, what, y'all are going to be fighting? Y'all aren't going to be listening to each other? It's like, I don't know if everybody wants to settle for that. Many people in this world will, right? Many people will be in relationships that they're suffering through. I'm hoping that you don't want to be one of them. I don't want to be one of them. I want to be in a relationship where we both take the time to truly listen to each other. I'm sitting there looking at my partner like, oh, why do they think this? Let me hear them out. They're annoying me, but let me hear them out so that I could truly see what they're feeling, because I don't want them to be hurt or annoyed, right? But not everybody thinks that way. And when you raise yourself up to have higher set qualities to make yourself a better person, we should all be striving to be better. When you make yourself a better person, I think you're able to choose better for yourself. And if you find yourself in a little like new relationship that it's like, all right, let's see if this is going to work. I'm dating this person. I think you can pretty quickly see if communication styles are going to work out within the first 6 months of the relationship. Do you know what I mean? Within the first year, right? That's a good time to get to know people, to not rush anything, so that way you can sit there and say, okay, you know, we're kind of fighting a lot. Honeymoon stage. What are we doing? You know what I mean? Let me try to communicate this out. Oh, it's already not working. They don't want to listen to me. Am I going to settle, or am I going to allow us both to move on and make room for better in our lives? Maybe something that aligns with both of us, because this isn't it. Do you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, either way, just something to think about, y'all. I hope you enjoy your weekend. I am really tired. It's a little bit late where I am, but go watch my TikTok, see what you think about my videos. I'm kind of getting into some topics. So, yeah, either way, I'll definitely post something else on Monday. So, I'll see you then.